Welcome back to the Call Me Larry podcast, the only podcast that has a studio built entirely out of Elmer's glue and decomposing bananas. I'm here with Jason. How you doing, Jason?
Melatonin is a hell of a drug.
Okay, why do you say that?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have taken melatonin, but it's like a natural kind of like sleep like helper, I guess. Like it turns on your chemicals in your brain. Is it serotonin or melatonin, I guess, right? That
I don't know what it does.
It makes you fall asleep naturally,
yeah,
right?
it's an organic thing that makes you fall asleep.
Yeah,
I used to take it in college.
So So I mean, I would take it a lot in college.
I don't know. Time, baby. You remember that?
What's up?
You would look up. We'd be in beds in the same room, and you'd go, "Time for the mellies." And then I'm like, "How many are you taking tonight?" "Oh, it's 5 milligrams each. I'll take 3." And you're only supposed to take 1 or 2.
Yeah, well, no, you normally take 10 to 20 milligrams, but I like to kind of experiment with melatonin because it's like natural. I can't really like overdose on it, but like it also can make you have some really weird dreams. So in college, I'd be like, all right, like it's a chill night. I'd be like, I'm gonna pop like 5 melatonins tonight.
Wait, wouldn't you also take them? Like we would have a heavy night of drinking and just like having a party and chilling with our friends, and then you'd be like, all right, I'm also gonna take melatonin.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Like, you're probably fine, right?
It's organic, man. If it's organic, it cannot hurt you. That's a fact.
Yeah, don't quote us on that. And don't trust us.
that is not research.
That is definitely not research. Yeah, nothing's been researched yet. I mean, I know it's melatonin. That's all. But yeah, no. I remember one time where like I think the top end of what I've taken is like 30 to 40 milligrams.
Jesus.
Yeah, a lot. Just because I was in this phase where I really wanted to lucid dream, and that was something that kind of helps you have a little more, at least in my experience, a little more like kind of weird and kind of exotic dreams. Can
you explain what lucid dreaming is?
Yeah. So lucid dreaming is becoming aware while you're in a dream that you're in a dream, and then being able to control and adapt to that dream because you're aware of it. You know, like if I wanted to fly to the moon, I could just do it out of nowhere in the dream. If I wanted to get a Tesla, I could just be like snap my finger and like I'm in a Tesla now.
So it's literally like you're in La La Land and you can just make anything happen that you want to happen.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And so a lot of people have tried. There's a lot of different ways to lucid dream. There's no way set in stone. But for me, I tried by just popping a ton of melatonin, and you can lay on your back, which supposedly helps you lucid dream more often.
Cool.
So yeah, I had this big phase. And I had a lot of crazy dreams and I got to record them, but I was only able to successfully control my dream via lucid dreaming once or twice.
So do you have any crazy stories that you can
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was hoping you'd have somewhere to go with this.
Yes. So the first one was really weird because I like dreamt that I was a sandwich. Dude, no, not just any sandwich. So I'm gonna bring this up in the podcast every time I'm here. But okay. I used to work at Panera Bread, right? And I spent a lot of time.
Panera's getting a lot of free advertising from the Call Me Larry podcast.
I spent a lot of time, cutting up, dicing, and creating some mean sandwiches and some mean meats. But there was a specific sandwich. It was called the Italian Combo, and I dreamt I was that sandwich in particular.
Was that your favorite at Panera?
It was really good.
Okay.
It had like 3 or 4 different meats on it. I think it was like a provolone kind of cheese, a pepperoni on top, and some like mayo, and it was delicious. And it was on ciabatta roll. I love how I can like recite all the ingredients. It's like,
you definitely worked at Panera. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. But I enjoyed making it too. And so I dreamt I was a sandwich, and it was so weird because I was like kind of content being this sandwich, and what was even weirder is I was like asking myself some really philosophical questions, and it was like, do I want to be eaten or not?
Wait, you're having like an internal monologue
in my dream. I'm like, is my goal to be eaten? I don't know. We might have saw Sasha's Party or something recently where the food's alive. I don't know.
We did watch that a couple times at college.
We watched Sasha's Party way too many times.
Yeah.
That movie loses all of its glow on the first go around, but we watched it anyway. It's like,
I had a good time. I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, I know, but it's like it's talking hot dog. They have an orgy at the end. Oh, I'm sorry, spoiler alert. Yeah, so I was having this like internal debate. I was like, am I okay with being eaten? And I ended up being okay with it. I was like, my point in life, it's like a goal is to be eaten. And that was all the dream was. It was just me pondering the life of a sandwich as an Italian combo.
So you were trying to figure out if like, because a sandwich is literally made to be eaten, so is your life goal to be consumed?
Yeah. It's like, is that your purpose?
You don't want to be consumed because it's like essentially your death. It's like,
I know, yes. And then this is some like heavy topics, because then you get into like, for us, it's like, what is our goal, right? Is my goal to create a family and succeed at my like career? And if so, like, is that just, am I just going to do that and die? Is that what my life's work is for?
I'm going to tell you right now, if your goal was to succeed at your career, we never should have started this podcast, because we're going downhill immediately.
That's fair. And I've been talking about sandwiches. This is dreaming about sandwiches.
But yeah, I see your point.
So have you ever lucid dreamed before?
I don't know that I've lucid dreamed. I mean, maybe, but not on purpose, put it that way. Like, my goal wasn't to do that. Like, I wasn't popping melatonin and breathing a certain way and lying a certain direction, like hanging upside down in my closet because I thought it would get all the blood to my head.
There's
or
all these weird techniques, and like none of them make any sense.
One thing I have experienced though, and so like when I was in school, my major was very intensive, and I spent a lot of time not sleeping. So I would, a couple days at a time, like I'd be going without sleep, and then when I would finally get to go to bed, I would sleep heavy, like really, really deep.
Well, I remember when we were in school, you would stay up so late every night. I'm like a little baby, and if I don't get my 7 to 8 hours, I can't function. Yeah. You were functioning off of regularly, like 3 to 4, right?
Dude, I've just conditioned my body to be able to, like, if I get 4 hours of sleep, I'm good. If I get 8 hours of sleep, I'm great. Yeah. But one thing that would happen when I would be, like, I would go from a very deep state of sleep to kind of stirring, and I don't know how this happens, but it's like, I wake up, but I'm not awake. Like, my body can't move, but I'm awake. Like, I can see it, and I can see the room. And I later looked it up, and I found out from a couple other podcasts and stuff that it's called sleep paralysis. Mm-hmm. And I definitely experienced the symptoms that are very typical of that, where you legitimately, your brain and your eyes are awake, and you can see everything around you, but you are incapable of moving. And, like, I'm laying there trying as hard as humanly possible just to move my arms. Like, I cannot move. It's like I'm paralyzed, literally. And then the other weird thing about this, and it's not even funny at all, it's actually fucking terrifying, is that a lot of people say that when they have sleep paralysis, they see things in the room. Like, I don't know if they're hallucinations, but you see like demons and like the devil and shit like that. Like something, a body hovering over you.
Yeah, so I can actually speak to that. And all the times that I've tried to lucid dream, the kind of downside is that sometimes you can end up having sleep paralysis.
Inducing sleep paralysis.
And that's, exactly. And that's, I have experienced that firsthand, and that's really terrifying. I don't know if any of the audio listeners have, but it's so scary because, again, you feel paralyzed. And so what happens there, and I'm very interested in all this stuff, so I looked up a lot of this information, a lot of ideas behind it. What happens is, your mind wakes up and your eyes are kind of awake, right? You open your eyes, but your body's still sleeping. Mm-hmm. So there's half of your brain is on, half of your brain is not. Now, something interesting with that, where people are saying that they see figures and demons, things around them, and a lot of people have the feeling of getting strangled. The reason that people believe that happens, it goes back to our hunter-gatherer days when you would be sleeping in foreign places a lot, and it's a natural defense system.
Oh, to be awake.
So if your mind's awake, but you can't move your body, you're defenseless. Mm-hmm. If there's an animal nearby, that predator that might be after you, another human, right? So it's been baked into our minds. Our body has a defense mechanism. If if not everything's awake, let's wake everything up. And they do that by terrifying the shit out of you.
Oh.
Yes, your mind is trying to wake you up by scaring you.
I see what you're saying.
Your mind's trying to wake you up by scaring you with a strangling feeling and seeing figures around
Something's not right here. We need to fix it.
Yes.
That's
and
nuts.
all of it is your body's natural defense system to wake the fuck up.
Yeah, man.
How crazy is that?
The human mind is so unbelievably sophisticated. Like, just something that, not that I could ever understand. I'm sure a lot of people study it and everything, but it's like, everything at the end of the day, regardless of how far you go in your life, it goes directly back to those basic instincts of survival. I need to live.
Eat, drink, procreate.
Literally. Have you ever had any other weird situations while you were lucid dreaming? You said you did it one time, so maybe
so one time I was a sandwich. Yes.
Okay.
So I did it one more time, and I don't know. I think this was peak Panera phase, right? But it was about
everything goes back to Panera
It was
Bread
another
with you,
goddamn
man.
sandwich dream. I dreamed a different dream. So I don't know if you guys have seen Harry Potter.
I think your life goal is to just become a sandwich man.
Maybe that's.
I mean,
you know,
at the
people
end of
go
the
and
day-
become yokis in the mountains. Maybe my goal is to just become a sandwich.
Dude, at the end of the day, you're a sandwich. You're just a sack of meat that has clothes on the outside, so it's just covering you up like the bread. I don't know. We're just humans are glorified meat bags, basically.
So yeah. So the second time I lucid dreamt, I was like Harry Potter style. I don't know who's seen Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter series.
I've read all the books, seen all the movies.
Okay, so good. So you're a good person to talk to about this. But there's a wand shop called Ollivander's.
Okay.
Right? And you go into the shop and there's just rows and rows and columns of wands and they're everywhere. And the wand, right, the whole thing is the wand chooses you. So people come in and the wands move, they jitter, you have to touch the wand, and then if the wand likes you, it like kind of like spurts a little. It's like it doesn't.
Wow, Harry Potter had a lot of underlying sexual innuendo that I didn't know about.
But but there's so the wand, the wand chooses you, and I had a dream that I was in like a sandwich version of Ollivander's. It's like there's sandwiches everywhere, and it's choosing a sandwich.
I have no words, dude. What?
Why is it always sandwiches? I don't fucking
know.
get it. I tried for years, and my only 2 lucid dreams were sandwich related. It's like, could they at least be me riding on a dragon with a hot girl? No.
Maybe you have to just run with that, though. Maybe you are meant to just the meaning of your life, Jason, is to decide what the sandwich needs to do. It's like, do I succeed or am I okay with being eaten?
Okay. Damn. Damn, that's deep. Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe it's like if you get eaten, you can say it so many different ways, but it's like, if you get eaten, have you given up or have you reached your end goal? Right? Or have
that's
you
deep.
Or are you if you don't want to be eaten, are you not done trying to get as far as you can? Like, are you still trying to get more toppings on that bitch? Like, you don't have lettuce
or
yet,
are you just trying to
like,
not decompose, like survive as long as possible? And in that case, I don't know if you guys know this, but McDonald's food does not get eaten by bugs, maggots, anything. That food will last for decades.
Okay, but why? What's in it?
I don't know.
Dude, there's something in it, like chemicals and shit.
Oh, there's definitely chemicals, but there was someone that recently unveiled a 25-year-old, I think, McDonald's meal out of a shoebox in their closet. They kept it there for 25 years.
Dude, no fucking way.
Yes, 100%. I'm telling you the truth. I will look it up. Yo, what is up, everybody? For once, I am actually fact-checking something. So while I do that, I wanted to jump in real quick and tell you about our episode coming up next week. On this special, we interview a professional baseball player, covering topics from life goals, the life of a pro baller, and what it all meant to my father. We get it all. Yeah, that's right. My dad played pro baseball, and I inherited little to none of his athletic ability. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at callmelarry_pod, and write in to let us know what you might want to hear us talk about next. All right, back to the show. Okay, so I looked it up. 25-year-old McDonald's quarter pounder with no sign of rot proves
the
good
guy
things
ate it
truly.
Afterwards?
Whoa! I don't know if he ate it. I don't know if
There's
he
a
ate it.
bite taken out of that picture.
I don't know. But
And I mean a bite taken out of the burger. In the
multiple
picture, not the picture
the
itself.
bite taken out of the picture. It's like, dude, he's fucking hungry. No, yeah, but McDonald's food. Multiple people have had McDonald's food for, let's see, 25 years old, 24, 20 years. There's evidence. It's all online. There's actually a ton of them. And it did not decompose at all.
All right, well,
How does that make you feel?
It makes me think that should I ever get abandoned anywhere, like I need to bring a bunch of McDonald's with me on trips just in case, like, I end up on a deserted island or something like that. Like, I just need to, like my suitcase is no longer closed.
Dude, if there's
like, it'll last me forever, literally, and just with rationing.
If there's a zombie apocalypse, go to the McDonald's and get that food. That food will last. Dude. You know, like, it's perfect.
All right, dude, random question, but how long do you think you could survive or last on a deserted island? And, like, all right, let's retract the McDonald's thing. You don't have your McDonald's with you. It's Castaway style. The plane goes down. Have you seen this movie with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
So you get stranded.
I mean, they're all the same premise.
All right. At the end of the day, you get stranded on a desert island, and you like can survive, and you have the resources on the island to survive, like with trees and shit. But like, how long do you think you could last before you're like, I'm getting the fuck out of here?
So is it like a personal challenge of like, how long can I survive realistically?
Let's assume that you're naked and afraid. And
okay, I mean,
you're
that's always assumed. That's always assumed. Yes.
You're always naked and afraid.
Okay.
Jay, you're sitting at your desk at your job. Jason, why are you naked? I'm scared. All right. Anyway, yeah, you're on a deserted island, and you basically just have to tap into your inner instincts and survive. And like maybe you end up getting off the island, but like I guess first question is like how and what do you eat? Like obviously shelter, you got to figure that out. But like, what's the move on food?
Yeah, I've played a couple survival games. I learned a lot from Minecraft in particular, right? So the first thing I do is walk up to a block of wood and punch it until it breaks.
I have a massive insight for you. If you walk up to a block of wood in real life, like if you walk up to a tree and punch it, you will break your fucking head.
Yeah. If I keep going, eventually.
Dude, I could just picture you trying to take the tree, and you're like, this will work eventually, and you're just karate chopping it until it comes down, and you're like, why does my hand broken? This worked great in Minecraft.
I mean, maybe if I like sharpened my hand bone, just like, go in.
That sounds wild.
No. I don't know. I guess the first thing is obviously creating like shelter in the sense that I'm naked and afraid. Like I need some sort of like clothing or a place to kind of like be able to sleep ideally, right? Like something that I can like call home and create a campsite around.
So your basic survival needs, like as far as being able to withstand elements and stuff, is like it's always heat, shelter, food, water.
Yeah,
like those are the three basic things that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking where can I set up a campsite first? That's like kind of the first thing. Damn, I think I've made a fire once with flint and steel, but you don't have flint and steel either. Then you go down.
You literally have to go to the
stick. Well, don't you go to the stick and like try to cut? You don't roll a stick in like another like a log and like put a lot of tinder and stuff.
Yeah, eventually.
That could take me like 4 hours, so 6 hours more. And to keep it alive after that. I'm not very good at that.
All right, well
that would be a concern for me.
Let's assume that your heat and your shelter are like figured out. Okay. You're a big sandwich guy, so I'm assuming that you're looking for some kind of like something that you can make a sandwich.
A wild ciabatta sandwich, it's like runs by. It's like a panini, like a chicken panini. Oh my god, could you imagine?
No, dude, it's gotta be running on the meat, and it's just running, and all you hear is.
So I would hunt for some sandwiches.
Got some lettuce legs.
No. I think the thing I would be most likely to do. I'm a little bitch. I don't even think I can take down a pig. Like a pig would be
difficult. Dude, wild boar can fuck you up.
I'm saying even like the wild boar is like children or like like
a little runt.
Yeah, like a little runt. I don't think I'm fast enough.
Dude, how hungry are you? Like if you're hungry enough, you're gonna.
But it's just like the longer you go without food, the weaker you are. But I think the best chance I would have is some form of like fishing. Whether it be like making like a rudimentary like stick kind of cage, but I guess I would need something that worms. Yeah, so I'd try to probably find some sort of bug and then use that as bait to try to catch fish. That would be my best bet.
Fair enough.
Or just to forage for fruits and veggies, right?
I see a lot of people like on those survival shows and stuff. They'll make a spear or something and they'll just go ham.
Yeah, but
getting into the water.
There's no way. How do you like just throw a spear in the water and catch a fish?
No, you don't throw it. You're like standing in the shallows very.
You're not moving. You just stand there for like 3 hours and just wait for a fish to come by. You have to have
incredible amounts of patience to the point where like you're so thirsty that you're drinking.
I have no patience. I'm dead. But yeah, I guess I would try fishing and I guess I could survive a little while off that. What is? Do you have any like kind of better ideas? I really don't know what I'd do.
I think I would go fishing as well, and I mean. I think what you have to do is eventually your hair and like your beard and everything are going to get long enough. You need to use that as some kind of rope to like start braiding it together. You cut it off and
hair.
Then you can create like
dude. How long are we talking? It takes like 6 months to grow out your hair.
You're going to be there for a while. I guess. I mean, if you're talking about,
I'm talking about how I survived the first week.
All right.
These guys are like, I'm going to build a civilization on my hair.
Let me ask you this: how many days until like that you haven't found fresh water are you drinking on your end?
Oh, I did see this one thing that was really good idea. Killing like a turtle and taking the turtle shell and using that to catch rainwater.
But you got to go fishing and you have to catch the turtle first.
Yeah, turtles go on beaches, right?
Yeah, they're pretty fucking slow too.
They're pretty slow.
Get it.
I guess I'd go turtle hunting.
Well, dude, but the only thing is then you got to deal with cracking the shell. And I mean, I don't know. There are probably more graphic and disgusting ways that you could murder a turtle, but... It's ridiculous.
Well, dude,
we were on the road today and we saw, this is a complete tangent, but like we were out on the road today and talking about like animals as being literally vultures. We saw vultures on the road just shredding a rabbit.
Dude, like, I thought we just like went to a desert. It was crazy. There was vultures in the middle of the road.
We went from we drove 15 minutes and we went from civilization to where the fuck
Yeah.
are we? Like, that was absolutely insane. And the best part was that, like, I'm driving roughly like a 2,500 pound vehicle, and this thing did not give a shit.
Yeah, it's like you stop. These vultures are big. I didn't know how big vultures were.
I've never seen a vulture in person.
Oh my god, that thing has a lot of meat on it. That's almost my whole torso. Like, the thing was easily 20 pounds, like more. That thing was huge.
And then eventually, like, there's another car coming, so I need to start going, and like I can pull into the other lane, but we kind of stopped and we were like admiring what's happening here. It's just straight up
pulled out Snapchat,
straight up nature.
Yeah, we tried to take video.
Straight up nature, just like in its most pure form of survival and like just fucked upness or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
it was nasty.
But like eventually, the car's coming, so I'm like, all right, I gotta move, and this thing's in comparison to my car, it's small.
We're 5 feet. We're like 5 to 10 feet away from this thing.
I start leaning on the horn, didn't flinch. One of them flew away. The other one kind of walked off to the side of the road. The other one is like chilling. I start revving the engine a little bit.
It was eating the meat, and it just didn't give a fuck.
Oh, it dragged the meat away with it. It's like, I worked hard for this, bud. And you walked away with it
3 times for like abnormally long amounts of time, and the thing didn't budge.
And the best part was that eventually, when I started to kind of just like roll forward, basically, like very slowly, to kind of be like, okay, time for you to move. And I eventually went around him, but instead of flying away, he's like, oh, dude, he dragged the rabbit off with it. He's like, this is mine. And
that was like an alpha move, right? Because there was 2 other vultures that didn't have any food.
Oh, dude, that's
and he's like,
this is mine.
This is my meat. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Oh, dude, he's the Panera vulture. He was working. He's got the various meats, and he's making a mean ciabatta sandwich that you're hunting down later.
Oh my god,
that vulture earned my respect, and its balls are fucking huge because it did not care at all.
Okay, balls are obviously important.
What if I tried to take your balls from you?
Okay, hey. I am not a dog. All right. Let's step back.
That is fucking debatable.
Okay, that is also. You're right. I'd like to keep my balls, but in this.
All right. I'll let you defend.
Okay. So yes, dogs need nuts to breed, right? That's totally cool. Like that. Yes, that makes sense. But have you ever met a dog or seen a dog that still has its nuts?
Yeah, it's weird.
They hump everything. Dude, everything, living or not, gets humped like 18 hours out of the day at least.
Dude, my first dog was a male, and he still humped the shit out of everything. I just think it's a guy thing that they're built to hump everything.
I know, and I don't disagree, right?
Balls are not.
Yeah, but they're nutting everywhere too. It's just like if I want a dog as a pet, it's like, I'm sorry, like, I like your nuts, little buddy. You're gonna have a great life, but like, you gotta get rid of them because you can't hump everything in sight for the rest of my life. Some dogs have really big nuts too. Those things get in the way. Like, that's like a hide it from the children kind of like. Have you seen some dogs? They have meaty clonkers just like in between their legs that like you sometimes feel bad because they're just slapping them around like it's nothing. But like, you don't want kids to see that.
Wait, hang on. So a while ago, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. It's called Van Wilder. It's with Ryan Reynolds when Ryan Reynolds was really, really young. Before he was Ryan Reynolds. Okay. Yeah. So I saw this movie, and Ryan Reynolds. So basically, the premise of the movie is this guy who has been a senior in college for like 7 years. Like, he won't fucking leave because he doesn't want to. Yeah. He's like a celebrity on campus, whatever. He has a bulldog that he has in his room like a pet, literally a bulldog. And over time, and he also, all right, the other part of this is that he also has a hot tub in his room. And so the ball...
Whoa, you have a hot tub in your room and a bulldog?
It's a movie, dude. It's
okay.
So the dog is in the hot tub with him, and over time, the dog's balls keep getting bigger and bigger, and they're like, what the fuck? What is going on? And so when he's in the hot tub, he's floating, like flotation of like his balls.
Why?
Dude, I don't know.
Trying to bust
it was one of those National Lampoon movies. Yeah. But the best part about this is, so what you're talking about big they were, is that at a certain point they drain the dog and they put it in some cannolis for like a fraternity. This is insane. Basically, they drain the dog and the dog's balls shrink because they're no longer filled with fucking shit.
So is that every dog with nuts is just on a timer until they bust the next nut?
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, that's me, man. My nuts don't get bigger, but they're on a timer.
I don't know. That dog hasn't humped anything in a while. Oh my god. But dude, could you imagine cutting anything off a fucking animal?
Yeah, well,
it's horrific. I mean, there's that one time, like,
scrap story.
Okay, this has scarred me to this day, but I mean, maybe people should know.
Okay. All right, so we went on a fishing trip about a year ago or so. It was a fishing trip off of the East Coast, and we were going to catch striper, I believe, for anyone that's a fisher. I don't even know. I've never caught striper. Sorry, I'm skipping forward to the story, but I don't know what they look like. But
the fish I caught had like human looking teeth.
Do they? Have you seen striper before? I
don't know if it was a striper. I don't know what the kind of whatever.
But so we're on this boat, and the shipmate, right?
Sure.
He came up to us and he was like, "Oh, do you guys know how to catch striper?" And we're like, yeah, we just like, he's like, here's a bucket. He's like, he drops a bucket of crabs, and you hear all the little legs and shit, like just skimming around. They're just fucking like tapping the ground and stuff like, wow, those are lively crabs. And he's like, yeah, you know what to do, right? And I was like,
he did this so casually. It was so
I was just like, yeah, you just hook the crab, right? He's like, hook the crab. he looks around. He has the fucking big overalls on too, right? Like those.
Yeah,
those,
he
like,
had the waterproof
overalls.
stuff.
Yeah, like everything. Right, so he and then by the way, for your audio listeners, I'm standing. It's not recorded video.
Jason just took his pants off and put on
waterproof
overalls.
So no, he comes up to us, but he pulls a crab. He pulls a crab out of the bucket, and this man has a fat pair of scissors, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the scissors.
No. Remember we had to buy the scissors? It was $5 to buy scissors.
He's like, did you guys buy? Did you guys bring scissors? We're like, no.
Why the fuck would I bring?
Yeah. He's like, oh, that'll be $5.
Oh yeah, the scissors are right next to my pocket stapler.
Yeah. So he's like, okay. So we buy the scissors, and he's like, you know what to do next? And it's me and 3 friends, right? Us 2 and 2 other friends, and we're just like blank faced. So he shows us. He's like, you pick up the crab. You hold apart the fucking claws, and you just cut that bitch down the middle. And he just viciously eviscerated this crab, like just like it was nothing. He's like staring at our eyes.
Wait. I'm gonna interrupt you because that's so he did cut the crab up, but it was way more horrific than what Jason just explained. What he did was he held the crab in the middle, and then
he cut off the limbs.
He cut off the legs. So a crab has like their claws, so like essentially their arms, and then they have legs. And he literally goes. Cuts off the legs, cuts off the arms, and then right up the middle, ass to mouth, slices this thing in half.
It's like a nugget. He nuggets the crab. The crab's a nugget, and then he finishes it off.
And we're looking at him, and you look at each other. You said the funniest line ever, which hopefully you'll say next. But we're like, what the fuck?
Well, on top of that, he's doing this over the bucket, so the other crabs are being showered in the limbs of the fallen. Like,
this is what's gonna happen to you, bitch.
Imagine that. You're a crab in a bucket. You're getting showered in limbs of other crabs that are getting murdered above you. I don't remember what I said next.
Oh, you look me dead in the eyes and go, he fucking hates crabs. You go, this guy fucking hates crabs. He must have been scarred as a child. Like a crab, you say that, and then you go, dude, at one point in time, a crab nipped this dude, and from that point on, he goes, I'm gonna become a fisherman, and I'm gonna fuck crabs up, and I am losing my shit.
You forget the best part, though. After he eviscerated this crab, he puts it on the hook, and he's like, the last thing you gotta do is step on it.
Oh my god!
And he goes, there's juices flowing. We're disgusted.
So step by step, this guy has literally nuggeted the crab. It has no longer has limbs. It's just like, and the dude, you gotta, audio listeners have to picture a crab going from legs that are moving to no legs that are moving, and there's just like a little stump left.
They got their claws,
and they're like they're still wiggling, and then it's cut in half. And then, as if that was not enough, and this thing's already dead, you have to crush it so that the juices are flowing,
yes!
And you throw that meat overboard, and then hopefully you catch something. And I'm talking fat bucket of crabs. Like, we did this over and over and over again to the point where eventually we got a little more humane with it to be like, all right, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, spoiler alert: we didn't catch jack shit.
I caught a fish. I caught one fish. We didn't keep it, though.
By the way, can you guess how many crabs we killed? That we paid to go out on a boat and eviscerate 50 crabs, at least, while they're just getting covered in the blood of their fallen.
The only thing that got fucked up that day was crabs. There was no fish.
That was wild. And it took us a while after he showed us that display. And you're right, I do remember that. He's like, he really hates crabs. Yeah. It took us a while to kind of do it. But we slowly were like, okay, I'm gonna murder this crab. Who's next?
It was just so fucked up. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about a crab as a pet or anything, but like, I just felt really bad. Like, I'm empathetic for the crab. But,
yeah, that was a crazy weekend, right?
Well, do you remember what you did to be more humane with it? I guess.
Oh, did I cut it first?
Yeah. So I remember.
Yeah, I cut it down the middle first to try to kill it.
At one point I was standing there with my rod. and I like was waiting for.
I was like, why? I asked. I was like, why does he cut off all the limbs first and then kill the crab? It's like that seems more painful than just ending its life from the beginning.
Dude, I looked to my left at one point in time, and so another little tidbit here is that that was the normal bait that you paid your fee to get on the boat and to use, so it was free.
Yeah.
And there was another thing that one of our other friends ended up actually buying, and I don't know how
they
much
were Japanese crabs, yeah.
And so we created this medley of meat for the fish, and so we had one of the crabs we cut in half, and then just a live crab that was on there. So you got to think
the Japanese crabs are much smaller. You didn't cut them. You just put them on the line.
But the live crab is like wriggling around while the meat of it's falling or behind it.
Oh my god!
And so, but we didn't pay for the premium shit. And so I remember looking over at Jason at one point, and he's over the bucket, like this massive bucket. And I look, and you got the scissors, and you're like, yeah. And like you're reaching in with the scissors and just cutting shit in half, and you're like and like in my mind I'm like, all right, well he's killing it first before removing its limbs, but like what the fuck kind of thing is going on here?
I didn't want to touch him.
Yeah, it was wild.
I was trying to kill it because if I picked it up, I had to cut off the claws or it was gonna hit me. Right, so I was like, oh, if I just cut it in half at the beginning, then I could just extract it.
Facts.
That was crazy, but that whole weekend was crazy. That was Sunday, the night before.
Do you remember the night? I don't remember the night before.
I don't very well, but there was evidence. So this was we have a favorite. We were staying together at my apartment because we obviously had to get up really early in the morning the next day to go fishing, and we have a favorite burrito joint restaurant that's just like really, really good.
And this place's credit, they're open till 4 a.m. so they get all the drunk idiots like your Larrys on this podcast. They're like, I'm hungry as shit. It's 4 a.m. Let me get this shit.
Yeah, so their whole thing is they have like gourmet different burritos and wraps. Like, and by gourmet, it's like instead of a regular wrap, it's like a sweet potato flour wrap with arugula and like lamb bacon.
Oh, dude, the first time you took me there, I saw God.
Yeah, it's very unique, and so that's pretty cool. But the best part about them is not only that they were open late, but they also they had the mistake of leaving sauce out for us to take. Right, for users to take and like pour in their own to-go cups.
Yeah, so this place had, I guess I don't know what restaurant to equate this to, but I guess like McDonald's merch or something. But it's a little cup, and it had a little plastic cup, and it has a lid that you can put on. And so it's just like you take the sauce, and they have signature sauces, right? And so we love spicy shit, and so
I love sauce. I live for sauce. Sauce is in my blood. Like, I love sauce.
A story that we'll get to later. When we were in college and we would, again, come home from a party, drunk, we would all go to, the cafe at our school where it was open till 1 a.m. We would all get food, all eat. Jason would wait. He would wait until we got home.
Yeah.
And he would spread Korean chili paste
gochujang
from the bottom to the top of whatever he was eating.
I was known
half the time he would wake up in the morning with it cemented to his goddamn chest.
I was known to wake up covered in sauce. That's how much I love sauce in college.
It was disgusting.
But so we're getting the sauce here. They leave sauce in the hands of the customers to get. That is their worst mistake imaginable.
Dude, the way this played out. So you go and so basically the way it worked was like you buy it, I'll Venmo you, whatever. So you go handle the orders.
Yeah.
And as we're walking, I go, Jason, I'm gonna go get as much sauce as we can fucking get, and we'll just hang on to it.
He's whispering in my ear as I'm ordering. He's like, I'm gonna get all the sauce.
And because in my mind, I'm like, they're not gonna be happy if we take all their sauce. We need to hide it. So I go back and I create a system of sauce, like a sauce filling system.
So it's a little plastic containers with the lids on top, and you can just like click them on, and you get and you can just go from there.
So I'm lining up container by container by container. Like I have like rows of 6, and there's like 3 rows, and then I
fill
those
have
up
an assembly line.
Oh, dude, and we got 2 kinds, and I forget what they were. And it was some the spicy sauces that were fucking delicious, and we would use them for things other than these burritos, but they were great. And so what happened was Jason goes and orders the thing. He's waiting. He walks back to me with the burritos that are finally done. He's like, all right, you have the sauce ready to go. And I rotate as I was hiding my stash, and he just looks at it like, what the fuck? We had, and we counted, and I don't know if our count is correct to this day, somewhere between 45 and 60 containers of sauce. And Jason's like, where are we going to put this?
You drained 2 or 3 full containers of this.
Dude, it took them a solid 10 minutes to get our food ready, so I was there pumping
the entire time.
Containers the entire time. And you walk back and I'm like, oh, that's a small bag. We're gonna
need a bigger bag, right? So this is over on the side, and I'm like, damn, we need a bigger bag. I get another bag. We fill this to the brim, 2 full bags, and now we're giggling, we're drunk, we're happy, and we're walking to the front. And Zach has to put his back towards the front so they can't see that he has 2 full bags of sauce.
I don't know what would have happened if they knew we had it.
Why didn't we just take the sauce containers at that point?
Well, that's theft. We were doing legal shit.
Okay. So we go back to our apartment, and it's 10 minutes away. Not even 5-minute walk.
We're walking. Yeah.
We're walking, and we're dropping sauces as we go. We are dropping sauce packets as we're running through the streets to get back to my apartment.
At a certain point, I don't know if it was me filling the containers. There were so many containers. They started to leak and essentially make this paper bag soggy, which obviously ruins the construction of the paper bag. It starts to rip.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing my best here. Like, I'm bear hugging the thing, like basically just shouldering everything, trying to keep it. But at a certain point, there's nothing I can do. And sauce starts to fall. It's all over me. It's just me everywhere.
So what happened is we get back to my apartment and we're down. Yeah, we're down from like 40 sauces to actually 10 because the bags start to rip from the sauce too. They're soggy. And the next morning, right, we enjoy the sauce. The next morning we go outside and it's a fucking crime scene. There is sauce leading from the restaurant to our apartment door over the course of the entire walkway.
So I had gone out earlier that morning to we got home late. We were going out early because fishing trips, you have to leave early so you can get the boat out there. And so I didn't notice anything leaving, but I walk back and I look and on the doorstep and around the corner and I am just losing my shit laughing. And I'm like, dude, we left a Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb trail of sauce. That like literally you could trace our steps from the restaurant to 100%. The apartment door.
We did it. It was crazy. We did it the next day. So we really like our sauce, and that was just
my clothes are still stained to this day.
I'm sorry, restaurant. I'm sorry we took all your sauce. But it was a blast, and I'm sorry whoever had to clean it up. And it was hilarious that we had a trail leading back to my apartment.
I do apologize to whoever had to deal with that, but the next morning, the night of it was really sad because it's like, oh, this stuff is so good. I really want it. And then, we worked really hard for it, and then it just didn't work out. And the next day you see it, and it's like, we are morons. What
did we do? Why did we do this?
Why did we do this? It's literally like you see that, and the immediate regret of your drunken actions is just so funny. And I feel bad for whoever cleaned it up. I've actually never thought about that until you just mentioned it, but it was just hysterical. It's like, if you're trying to trace the Larry steps, it's in the sauce.
It's in the sauce.
Well, guys, thanks for listening. This has been the Call Me Larry podcast. Like, subscribe, follow, and/or leave us a review on whatever platform you use to call us Larry. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter @CallMeLarry_pod, and write in to let us know what you think or what you might like to hear. Peace.
This is Call Me Larry. Like and follow to get us on demand.